2025 is going to be disgusting. 2024 was boring. 2024 was hard to stomach. 2025, I think it's going to be worse. I really do think it's going to be worse. You thought we couldn't win at home this season. Whoa, dude. I don't think we win it. I don't think we win at all. We went, what, 1-8 this year at home? We're not going to win a game at home next season. So just forget about the Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders. Like, just know that those are always our opponent, home and away, and we're always going to lose to them. So, Packers, oof. When they're healthy, I think they're, I don't see us beating them. I know we've already beat them with Jordan Love, but I just think they're going to get better. So, I think that's a loss. That's an L. Chiefs, that's a hard L. Chargers is a loss. We have the Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and 49ers. Can you believe that? That doesn't seem real. That doesn't seem fair, and it doesn't seem real. I don't understand how that happens. How we are like literally the third worst team, and in a lot of respects the worst team in the NFL, and we're rewarded with the Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Niners. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. NFC North and the AFC West. I mean, literally the two best divisions in football. And we're gonna trust the process, and we're gonna continue. I mean, maybe this is what Shane and Dable went to Mara, and they were like, "Listen, you don't want to hear this, but this is the harsh reality of the situation. We're not going to do well in 2024, and like strap in, we're not going to do well in 2025. But we can get top draft picks, and we can build a roster, and in 2026 we're going to compete." I mean, like that must be the plan. That has to be the plan. And then when we shit the bed in 2024, Dable and Shane turn to Mara and go, "We told you we're going to be bad this year, and I hope you are taking your Tums, because we're going to be just as bad in 2025. So those are the home opponents. So we're not going to win a game at home in 2025. Cool. Our away opponents for 2025: the Bears, Broncos, Lions, Raiders, Patriots, and Saints. So our road schedule is definitely better than our home schedule. The Bears, that's a toss-up. I think that's a loss, even as fouled up as the Bears are. I still think they're in a better spot than us. And then the Broncos, I mean, they're onto something. They have such an amazing defense, and Bo Nix has got them firing on all cylinders on offense. I think Sean Payton has really turned that franchise around, and to play in Denver, that's a loss. My ex-girlfriend was a Broncos fan. I had this marked on my schedule when we were dating, even before we were official. I remember talking to her on the long car ride up to Rhode Island to see my buddy and his family. And I said, the Giants play the Broncos in Denver in 2025, and we're going. And she was like, "What? That's like 2 years from now." And I was like, "We're going." I am that confident that we are still going to be together, and that we're going to go, and it's going to be the time of our lives. And she dumped me like a couple months later. So not happening. At Denver, that's a loss. At Detroit, that's a loss. At Vegas, could be a win. I don't know. Could be a win. Although it's insane that they fired Gerard Mayo. That is like, you think the Giants organization, the Patriots have entered the chat as like a really bad organization. I'm ridiculous to say that out loud, to have that leave my mouth, but it's true. Brady leaves, they take a step back. Belichick leaves, they take a step back. They were, I hate to use this word, grooming Gerard Mayo, but that was the whole plan, was it not? Like, we're going to have Gerard Mayo waiting in the wings to take over the head coaching position when Belichick steps down. He does. They give him 1 season and they fire him. I mean, you want to talk about like crazy ownership. That's like an owner who maybe has let shit gone to his head, but that's wild to have a coach waiting in the wings to take over, and you fire him after a season. So yeah, I could very easily see us going into New England and winning that game. But here's the kicker: are they going to now hire Mike Vrabel? all signs seem to point to the fact that they're gonna hire Mike Vrabel, and if that's the case, then I'm not so sure about that that game. So it's more of a toss up than I thought. And then at New Orleans against the Saints, I think that's a loss. We just don't play well in New Orleans. So you're looking at winless in the division, 0-6. Winless at home, that's 0-11, with us possibly maybe beating the Bears, Raiders, and Patriots. Maybe. So you're looking at another 3-14 season. Another 3-14 season. Back-to-back 3-14 seasons. I don't know how you keep Dable and Shane after that. And it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because they are going to draft a quarterback. It's like foregone conclusion they're going to draft a quarterback. So now you've drafted a quarterback probably with a premium pick, first round or second round. The sting won't be as much if it's a second rounder. And now you have this quarterback that you want to be a starter who maybe did start and maybe won you 3 games, and now you are taking away his head coach and his staff and his GM and bringing in another head coach and GM. Oof. I mean, we're doing what the Bears did. I mean, we're it's akin to what the Bears have been doing and did. So, unless, I guess, Dable and Shane are saying, listen, 2025 is a wash. 2025 is essentially our development year for the new quarterback, for the rookie quarterback. We're going to develop him and develop him and development. And then in 2026 is when we make the push to the playoffs. Because looking at our 2026 schedule, it's better than it was in 2025. And I might even say it's better than it was in 2024. Because, I mean, you look at our 2024 schedule, holy shit, dude. We had, I think I looked at it on playoff status. We had like the 6th or 7th toughest, strongest schedule in the conference, and we had the hardest schedule in our division. So I think it was 6th or 7th hardest schedule in the league, and then like top 5 hardest schedule in the conference, and then hardest schedule in the division. So again, I guess that's a point in Dable and Shane's corner. Like, listen, look at this schedule. But I mean, the schedule. I mean, we should have been 5-12 this year for starters. Not that would have helped anything or made anyone feel any better. It's still less wins than we had in 2023 when everything went off the rails. But, I mean, Vikings playoff team, not just a playoff team. Like, we're pushing for the number 1 seed. Commanders playoff team, number 6 seed. Browns, trash, that's a win. Cowboys, despite how bad the Cowboys did this year, what were they? Still 7-10. I mean, they could have been 5-11, but they were 7-10. Beat a Seahawks team, which I definitely feel for Seahawks fans. That sucks, dude. 10-7, and you lose the tiebreaker to the Rams, even though you beat them once, based on strength of victory, I think it was. And it comes down like, okay, it comes down to that game. Obviously, you should have, if you sweep the Rams, are in. But it came down to the Packers game and the Giants game for the Seahawks. That sucks. Because it's like Packers, whatever. At that time, the Packers were kind of clicking. But the Giants loss, oof. That has to be the one that really kills them. To be honest, I would rather see the Seahawks in the playoffs over the Packers. I would rather see the Seahawks than the Packers. So the Seahawks, playoff caliber team. Bengals, playoff caliber team. I think they ended up going like 8-9, 9-8, 8-9, but they just missed the playoffs. Eagles, playoff team. Steelers, playoff team. Commanders, playoff team. Buccaneers, playoff team. Ravens, playoff team. Falcons, borderline playoff team. They were 8-9, 9-8. The Colts were in playoff contention, and then the Eagles. So, I mean, of the 17 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the 17 games were against playoff or playoff caliber teams. like in the contention to the last week of the season or the last 2 weeks of the season. That's a tough schedule. So I get it, man. But we went 3-14 and we were not competitive in the Falcons game or the Ravens game or the Buccaneers game or the Eagles game. You know, you want to talk about one-score games? So we could very easily go 0-17 next season, in which case we get the top pick and maybe Arch Manning enters the draft and we do get Arch Manning. And maybe that is the plea. That's what Dable and Shane are telling Mara is like, listen, I know we stunk this year. We're going to stink next year. But the beauty of this is we are going to select Arch Manning with the top pick in the 2026 draft. And then our schedule is a little more favorable because we'll be facing the NFC West, which, you know, good division. And the AFC South, which, you know, that was the 2022 season, is we faced the AFC South and we swept them. And so that's got to be what they're pointing to, saying, hey, listen, we don't, you know, other than Houston, you know, the Jags, Titans, and Colts are not really anything. But, I mean, we're talking about like 2 seasons away from now. So much could change unless you're a Giants fan. So, you know, it's a little more favorable. You know, we'll face, you know, if we go winless in 2025, we'll face the last place team in the AFC North. My guess is the Browns. Last place finisher in the NFC South, which would most likely be the Panthers, I think. And then you have the last place finisher in the NFC North, which no matter who you draw there, my guess is the Bears. I'd have to just say the Bears. So Bears, Panthers, Browns all could potentially be wins with Arch Manning at quarterback. Titans could be a win. Colts could be a win. Jags could be a win. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 wins. And then you have to try and get a win from the Cardinals. That's 7. And then maybe you can get a steal and win from the Commanders. That's 8. You see what I'm getting at here, right? Like, maybe we have a shot in 2026. And then, you know, Arch, he goes 7-10, he goes 8-9 in his rookie season. And then 2027, it's like 20-year anniversary of our Super Bowl win in 2007. We'll be facing the Falcons, Bills, Panthers, Dolphins at home, Patriots, Saints, Jets, Buccaneers away. That, to me, feels more palatable because, like, the Jets are a mess. The Dolphins could be in a state of flux. It's like, you know, Tyreek Hill's talking about he wants to play somewhere else. Tua's got the concussion thing, so that could be a win. Bills, probably not. Falcons, maybe. Who knows how Penix turns out. Carolina could be a toss-up. Patriots, organizationally, if Variable could come in and turn them around. Saints, who knows. Bucks, a very distant look and perspective, gets better after 2025. But 2025, it is awful. It is awful. Bears, Raiders, Patriots, maybe Saints. So you're looking at, like, it's going to be a 4-13, 3-14, or winless season. It legitimately makes me want to quit this podcast and quit creating content about the Giants. I know that's such a quitter mentality, but I just life is too short. Life is too short to be talking about a 3-14 team. And I continue to do it, and I continue to do it for hours on end. Anyway,